Hey y'all. So, a few years ago, I heard as I was laying in bed, take heed to my instructions and my warnings. And as I laid in bed, I'm like, God, what are you talking about? What are you trying to say, right? Take heed to my instructions and warnings. Like, huh? But I've come to understand and realize that God is always talking, right? I don't know what ways he talked to you, but I do know the ways that he talked to me. And he talked to me through dreams, as well as audibly, as well as through other people sometimes to get messages to me. Like if I'm still not paying attention to what he's trying to tell me through my dreams or audibly, he'll send um, either people that I know or even strangers. And it's been like that my whole life to get a message to me. So before I was even saved, before I really understood my dreams, because I've always been given dreams since I was, you know, um, young. And God will always warn me, or he'll always show me things that were going to happen in my life, whether immediately or in the future. And some things I didn't want to believe, like a upcoming betrayal or an upcoming separation from a person. He'll show me, and I didn't want to believe it. And so when that thing actually transpires, it's like, oh man, he showed me this. He told me this. Not necessarily how it was going to happen, but he showed me, and I didn't want to believe it. A lot of times, God tells us, because he's so good, right? A lot of times he shows us the upcoming betrayal. He shows us the upcoming separation to prepare us and to prepare our hearts, right? And when he do reveal these things to us and we still don't understand, and we still, don't want to believe what's going to happen, that person or those people will oftentimes start moving differently before it actually happens, right? They'll start moving differently. Confusion will come in your relationship. And this is not just, this is any type of relationship, whether, family relationships, co-worker relationships, friendships, like relationships in general, romantic relationships, just relationships in general. He'll often show us before it happens, but a lot of times we don't want to listen. We don't want to believe what we saw. So now that I'm older and I'm more mature in the things of God, I often go back to those words. Take heed to my instructions and warnings as I'm navigating through various seasons of separation. Take heed to my instructions and warnings. I'm discerning things before it even happens. God is so good. This is why it is important to have a relationship with our Heavenly Father. Like, yes, he gives, whether you're saved or not, he gives you the spirit of discernment. He talks to you, whether you know it or not, even if you're saved or not saved. He's constantly talking to us or whatever. And when you're on the other side, meaning when you're actually serving Jesus Christ, it's so much better, because now we know how to handle these things. Now we know how to handle the moments of separation, especially because when you're going through your seasons, of separation, 9 times out of 10, you're being promoted, you're elevating, you're graduating to another level in God. And so a lot of times, people, places, and things you have to be separated from, because we've all heard the cliche, everybody can't go with you. And this is true. Everybody can't go with you. Like, we see several examples in the Bible of separation. You know, for those of you who do not know, I am a follower and a believer of Jesus Christ, so I do relay a lot of my real world experiences to the Bible. And the Bible stands for biblical instructions before leaving earth. And all throughout the Bible, we see countless separations. And, you know, Jesus even said that your enemies will be those of your own household, right? Your enemies will be those of your own household. And, you know, that's a pill in itself that's sometimes hard to swallow for some people, because, you know, family is family. You think you're going to be with your family forever, but especially when you are walking in your godly identity, you know, a lot of people, meaning your family and friends, they were too familiar with you, meaning they won't accept this new version of you. They can't accept this godly version of you. They can't accept this person who know who they are. They can't accept this person who know what they're talking about. They can't accept this person that actually hear from God, see things from God, get revelations from God. They're too familiar with you. They're too familiar with you. Oftentimes, it will be those of strangers or those who want to be close to you, who are able to accept and receive whatever message or whatever revelation that you have. Oftentimes, people are too familiar with you. Remember, Jesus said that a prophet is not without honor in his own hometown. Even Jesus, they look down on him like, surely this is Mary's son. This is Joseph's son, the carpenter. Like, who is he talking all this talk? Who is he with all this revelation? This just Jesus. There's no way he can have this kind of revelation. Who do he think he is? Who do you think you are? You having these dreams and visions and revelations from God. Who do you think you are? You just such and such child. Oh, I know you from back in the day. I remember when we used to get drunk together. I remember when we used to get high together. And now you want to be talking about God? See, people, they can't accept the transformation in you. They can't accept the renewed you. They can't accept the godly version of you, because they still are thinking of you and all the things that you used to do, right? And of course, when we are transformed and our minds are renewed, of course, we never forget the things that God brought us out of. But now we're pursuing our heavenly identity, and we're pursuing the ways and the principles of God and everything that he brought us out of. That is a part of our testimony. Oh yeah, I remember when you was sleeping with somebody for a chicken sandwich. That's not my story, but I know, you know, that is people's stories out here. Oh, I remember when you was a crackhead out here, and now you want to be talking about you saved? People are too familiar with you, right? And again, you know, the new version of you requires for you to leave people, places, and things that was a part of the old version of you. And it's okay. It's okay. Remember, like with Abraham, God told Abraham to leave his father's household, which means leave your family and go to a place where I have prepared for you, and go from there, right? But even Abraham, although he listened to God and he left his family, he left his father's household. And one of the reasons why God told Abraham to leave his father's household is because his father and his family, Abraham's family, he grew up basically in modern day in a family full of witchcraft. His father was an idol worshiper. His father did not serve God, right? So God chose Abraham out of his family. Okay, you're going to be the one. You're going to be the generational curse breaker in your family. I need you to leave your family. I need you to leave your father's house and follow me, right? Yeah, you have a family full of witches and warlocks. You have a family full of idol worshipers. You have a family full of people that bow down to other gods. I chose you, my son, to follow me, right? And I'm going to make you great. I'm going to make your family great, right? But even Abraham could not fully separate from his family. Why? Because he ended up still bringing his nephew with him, right? Because, you know, we love our family. So he brought his nephew Lot with him. And then Lot started causing confusion in Abraham's life. And so he ultimately ended up separating from Lot. And then what ended up happening? Lot ended up going into a land that we know of as Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraham ended up having to pray and intercede for his nephew and his family because God was getting ready to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because it was a wicked and perverted city. But here it is, that's still Abraham's family member. Abraham is a servant of God. Even though God separated him from his family, he still allowed Abraham to intercede on behalf of his family member so him and his family would be saved, right? But he had to separate from them, okay? Then you have the story of, it's so many different stories in the Bible about separation. I already mentioned Jesus. I just mentioned Abraham. But then you have, notoriously, Joseph, the dreamer, who was a victim of jealousy, envy, and then his father favored him, and you know, his brothers were jealous of him and they wanted to kill him, and so his brothers betrayed him by selling him into slavery because Joseph ignorantly spoke about his dreams, which a lot of us do. A lot of us are guilty of running off at the mouth, right? And he told his brothers his dreams, and he told his father his dreams, and his brothers didn't even realize it, but they were able to interpret his dream, and they were more pissed off at him. Like, so what you saying? We're going to be serving you? We're going to be bowing down to you? You're going to be lording over us? Here it is. He the little brother, and you trying to say that, you know, you're going to be more powerful than us, and we're your elder brothers? Oh, you got to go. And so they sold him into slavery, and as he was going through his seasons of separation from his family, even though he was in slavery and he was in bondage and stuff like that, but Joseph was constantly being promoted. He was constantly being elevated. Even though he was separated from his family, he was graduating to different levels. God was working everything out for his good. Again, when you're going through your seasons of separation, remember, you're getting ready to be promoted on some kind of level. You're getting ready to be elevated. You're getting ready to graduate to something even greater. And Joseph ended up being promoted all the way up to the second in command over Egypt, right? And he saved his family from a deadly famine. But what had to happen first? He had to become separated from his family. Even though he was sold into slavery, but all things work out for our good. So sometimes when we go through our seasons of separation, we might go through trials and tribulations, because I'm definitely not saying that it's going to be all lollipops and candies and roses when we go through our seasons of separation, right? It's not always all good for us, right? But all things will work out for our good, and God is just training us, and we're somehow, some way still being promoted, even though some people have to be demoted, if it makes sense. If that makes sense, you're being separated. Some people are elevated, from level to level and graduate. And some people have to be demoted first to be built back up, brought back up. So again, separation is needed, separation is necessary, and we all must go through it. We all must go through it. But at the end of the day, it's all going to be working out for our goods.